Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
And we are back.
Hey, we back, man. What's up?
Hey, man, what episode is this? This episode 16, am I right? Is it 16 or 17, man? I get lost sometimes.
I'm lost,
man.
But you know what, man? We got our first Atlanta Falcon on the show, and I'm excited. Who we got?
We do. Listen, man, if y'all don't know who it is, I'm talking about number 55 going all the way live. Some people call him the Predator. I call him the best defensive end the Atlanta Falcons have ever had. I'm talking about none other than John Abraham. Y'all give it up for John right quick, man.
What up, John?
Man, appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me here. You know, it ain't up but a walk and skip and a jump from across the street.
Okay.
so it wasn't nothing, though. You know, that's my ex-neighbor right here. So it's funny as hell. He hit me up and he was like, yeah, you know, I said, bro, you know I got you, man. As much times I used to come and loot this place, like I used to just steal stuff. I'll just walk in because I knock on the door twice. Who is it? I'm like, all right, cool. All right, come in. I'm like, it was so funny, man. He had to, every time I knock, like, who else gonna come up to the floor, bro? Yeah, but it was cool though, man. But, you know,
I had a little hat rack with a whole bunch of my A hats. You know, we talking about A hats.
Yeah,
man, he come get one every night.
Every night, come switch out. I be like, bro, I need another hat, man. He's like, hey, what you need a hat for? After a while, he wouldn't say that.
But did you ever bring them back?
No. I might have brought. No, I brought one back. I think.
No, what I did was all the ones I really love, I kept in my room. I was like, this
okay, then you put the other ones out.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would go ahead and get two.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, okay, John might borrow this hat right here.
I have a ton of them, so I like,
yeah.
be cool.
Yeah. Man, that is too funny that y'all relationship got built over some A hats. Man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, well, look, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Just tell the people, man, tell us what you got going on these days, man. Where's John Abraham, man, in 2024?
2024, I guess we talked about it earlier, but, you know, 4 years sober. Actually, for me now,
Definitely.
Congratulations, man.
Working more on my mental health, not as much as I used to because, you know, I'm really got more confidence now than I ever had in my life. I think a big thing that we put into our life as being successful is money, cars, you know, clothes, how many hoes we got, and things like that. But for me now, it's all about family. You know, I got 4 daughters now. Me and my mom's relationship has gotten so much better. So for me personally, I'm really being a man. You know, I know guys that got millions and billions of dollars and they ain't real men. They just got a lot of money to support their habit. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, it's more like coming here, like being here for him. When he called, the old me, I probably wouldn't show up or I'll show up drunk because, you know, I want to act a fool. I want to have a certain persona or act a certain way. Now I just give the genuine me. Like, you know, he hit me up, hey, I said, man, you know I'm coming. I'm on my way just because, you know, it's somebody that I respect and it's somebody that I look up to, too, from the stuff he did for Atlanta. You know, when I got to Atlanta, he was already invested here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just met you, but I know you invested here, too, because, you know, y'all the A. So for me, just showing people that I appreciate the appreciation. You know what I'm saying? So when people call me and ask me for John to come through or, John, I want you to do this, I go now because I ain't embarrassed of who I am anymore.
Man, that's so awesome to hear, man. Growth. As I was telling you when we were talking about before, it's been 2.5 years since I had a drink.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know what I mean? And sometimes just taking that step, you know, away from alcohol or away from whatever you're doing that, you know, may be an addiction or maybe something that's a hindrance to your life, it's hard to take that step sometimes, man. So I commend you. You know what I mean, on your journey. Because I know what it's like. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be on that journey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whatever made you a drinker or whatever the reason was that you started drinking, it's hard to start breaking some of those habits. So I commend you
because you feel like that's you. That's your personality. That's what people know you for. So for me, you know, like I used to go to strip club all the time, and not because I wanted to go, it's just because that was my comfortable spot. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes you get a comfortable, you'll see some people go to the pool every day. You see some people go to the gym. You see some people go just walking. You'll see somebody, I swear I see this one dude walking up the street every day. But that's his comfort zone. So I got in the comfort zone in Atlanta. I can go there. I should have been hanging out with people like him more. I should have been hanging out with people like you. I should have been going to big events to get my name bigger in Atlanta. I should be a household name from how I played and what I did for the city on the field. But instead of me feeling like I was worthy of doing that, like when they asked me to do certain things, oh, so-and-so having this, I wouldn't go to that event. I'll go to this event and kind of soak. I deserve to be in this area. You know what I'm saying? Instead of showing that, no, I do deserve to be in this area. So now, I'm like I said, I'm putting myself on a bigger pedestal than I did when I played because I did a lot.
You did.
Regardless of what people think you do, like off the field, like on the field, I had to literally watch myself on tape and see what I did, and even check my numbers to see, like, dude, you should be a Hall of Famer. You have a lot of stuff that, and then you look back, and I'm like, if I were to put my foot in Atlanta more.
It's still time.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm doing stuff like this
good
now to put myself out to show that I do respect Atlanta. Like I really do.
The city loves you, man.
You know, I was doing my research on you last night, and I didn't realize, man, that you are the all-time leading sack leader for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, I think I'm second.
No, the guy Humphreys,
Yeah.
It wasn't recorded.
Yeah, I know.
And so they just started.
I'll give them two. I'll take two.
Look. But officially,
yeah.
you're number one.
Yeah.
And Humphreys, they didn't count him back until 82.
And you know the funny thing is,
Yeah.
I never cared about my stats until I got to 100 sacks, and I was like, dang, I got 100
And that's big.
sacks.
100 sacks in the NFL.
But I
that's
think
huge.
about it like this: if I would have been a stat guy, my numbers would have been very, very good. Because a lot of games, if I had 3 sacks, I'll come out and let my other teammates eat. You know, I wish. Not saying I wish. I hate saying wish. I hate saying could have been, should have been. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But you know, like just being happy playing the game and wanting to be a good teammate. It's kind of like if, like you know, with you with music. If you got like this great song and you give it to somebody else and they end up blowing up for it, you don't really feel bad about it because you know you had a piece in
played a part in it.
Bro, we done turned out some songs, and to this day, I'd be mad. I'd be like, damn,
I'd be mad, but at the end of the day, you got to say, you know,
I'm happy for them, but
I was a part. You might not have your name, like even with me,
he's
like,
saying if you want the people that help write.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like for me. So
I
I used to come out of the game so my other teammates could eat because you know, like even you know, y'all talked about Ray, you talked about Jamal. You know, those are guys that I played with and I wanted to succeed.
You want to see them succeed.
You know, like. You know, some people, a new guy comes in, you be like, man, I ain't even done da-da-da. I'm like, nah, man, I want you to eat too. So if I'm going here eating, if I'm getting like 2 sacks on a guy, I want you to go too because I know how it is in the press. I know how it feels to feel like you're the worst person on the team, even though I've always been the best mug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I've got
New
York.
Yeah, but I came.
That New York meet or
I came.
something.
They got me simply because of what I did off the field.
Okay.
Like that's the only time they were like really hard on me, and you know, and I was like, you know, it is what it is. I was a young guy. Looking back, I was a young guy. We make mistakes, but we can't make mistakes like that. That can't be our life. You know, a lot of times we make one mistake, and then for me personally, coming from a tough household with my mom, like she beat me just like every other kid got beat. You know, my grandparents did. They made sure. So whenever we got in trouble, the only problem was they never told us the right way to do it. So whenever I got in trouble, I started punishing myself. Let's say if you do something, you steal something, or a girl, you do something wrong, or somebody do this, you turn wrong, you get a ticket or something, I would always self-punish myself. So let's say if you punish me, then I'm going to punish myself.
Yeah.
Like, well, I deserve this. And you got to understand, once you do something wrong, you don't deserve the negative stuff. Like once somebody say, okay, you do a day of this and you're done, that's when you gotta let yourself go from that thing. Man. Me, I will sit there and punish myself every day. Oh, I deserve this. Like something bad happened. Oh, I deserve that because I did this. Like I believe in karma, but karma ain't like that. That ain't karma. Karma ain't just because you know I missed a sack on this play, so I got hurt the next play. So that's kind of mindset I had for it. Now I'm like, no, you know, just because that happened don't mean your life is over. It doesn't mean that everything else is bad in your life. And then you sink into a point that you feel like this is my area I need to be in. Like me in the strip club, it was simply because I felt like I wasn't capable enough to be with these other people that were, you know, always doing good. And I'm like, these people get in trouble too. These people do the same stuff you do. But my mind was set on punishing myself for anything I did.
Well, I can say this. I'm sorry, Trey. I can say this. I've been around you, and even when you was, you know, out there, you know, having fun, you still was a good person. Yeah, I always felt the good energy from you. You know, we went to the strip club a couple times. We had a good time. Like you wasn't no heathen.
No.
You know, you was there having a good time, enjoying
doing what men
yourself,
do.
and we had a good time. You always had that quality about yourself. Like, all right, I'm not gonna take it too far. I know good from bad. So that's always been there, and I'm glad to see that you're sober now. And I see a big difference to where you can do something in Atlanta. You can become something in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're working with the Falcons or not, but you can do something with them and take this to a whole nother level because they need some help as far as like their defensive line, man.
Yeah, they
Speaking of that, what you think about the Falcons, man?
I'm happy. Well, and I ain't trying to be racist or anything like that, but I'm happy we got a black coach, black GM, and we got Penix, he's a black quarterback. I mean, and it's Atlanta. Like if you walk around Atlanta, like since Mike Vick, we haven't had that guy that give us that electricity. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to see that new big place they got over here for football get packed, let Penix ball out. And I ain't saying I think they have a good chance this year of making the playoffs, but just being a guy and knowing like when I came here and we had Vic and he ended up leaving like my first year, I was so pissed off because the energy, just the people that were coming around, like you see like L.A., the Rams or something, you see all them actors and
stars.
Yeah.
It was like that way before in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You would have came in there, you would have seen Jeezy in the crowd, you would have seen, you would have seen anybody just chilling at the game. Now it's like they're getting back to that situation. So let's make it more like a hip-hop community like it was in the past, man, when they had the band there and stuff like that. Because the main attraction doesn't have to be the football team. And I'm just being real because most people just want, like, if you go to, like, going to Raiders games back in the day, not now, going to Raiders games, people just wanted to go see what the crowd was doing.
Wow.
You remember back in the day, the people had the crazy thing.
What's it called? The Black Hole?
Yeah.
That would be one of the biggest things you go to see. So we need to get more of that culture back in Atlanta so when people come to the game, they can remember just, man, I went to the Falcons game. They might not tell you who won and nothing like that, but they'll tell you like, man, the energy there. I know I got pissed off, like probably my last couple of years in Atlanta. We used to come here and the Saints used to have more fans than us. I used to hate that, man, because and if it's the Saints in Pittsburgh, anytime you go anywhere, they're gonna have more fans than the home team. And
Pittsburgh and them Packers.
Yeah, you go in there. So I want Atlanta to be. I want Atlanta to just have the crowd and everybody like that. And
we run the stadium. Atlanta run its own stadium.
Exactly what I'm saying. That's how I felt when I first got here.
I can say this, like I had season tickets throughout the whole Vic tenure. And I'm telling you, when the Giants fans came, they had more fans than we did.
Yeah.
And I remember we played the Jets, and you gave Vic hell that game.
I balled out that game.
I remember that. Man.
I ain't knew I was putting on a job application, but I came out there, man. I had
this
fun.
ninja out here terrorizing Vic?
Bro, I had, and the funny thing is, when I came into that's perfect that you transitioned to that because that's what I'm saying. When I came and I looked around, I was like, man, I want to be here. Like, I don't care what. And going into the off season, I knew I was going to be out of there because me and the head coach didn't get along. I mean, I only think
who was the head coach at the time?
I ain't want to talk about
okay.
it. But me and the head coach, we ain't got along. So I knew it wasn't going to work there. So I went to Washington. I was going to Seattle, and I had Oakland, and I had like one more team left. I think Indianapolis. But my agent called, and he was like, John, Atlanta wants you. I was like, stop playing. Yeah, they saying Brady had just Brady Smith. Brady Smith? Brady Smith. Brady Smith had just retired. He going to retire, so they need another end. They want you. I'm like, stop playing. He said, it's going to be less money, though. I said, man, it's Atlanta. I said, you talking about Seattle, 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour flight. Atlanta is 3-hour drive.
You from Carolina, right?
Yeah, it's 3-hour drive from South Carolina. You're gonna save me a lot of money. I said, compared to I used to fly my family to New York and all that stuff. I said, look, man, I don't care what I said, man, make it happen. He was like, John, you sure? I said, make it happen. I said, I don't care what you say. I said, make it happen.
Yeah.
I was on a jet because they had a jet for Oakland and a jet for I forgot where else I was going. It was some other place, but and then Atlanta flew a jet in. I got on an Atlanta jet, and I flew straight to Atlanta. I got here, and I've always appreciated Arthur Blank because he's one of the coolest guys, but he also understands every genre of life, from older people to younger people. He knows what people likes, and I think that's something that you understand. If you're going to be a good businessman, you got to understand it. I guess working for Home Depot, knowing that this culture does this culture loves this.
Yep.
But he came there, he just kind of sat down, and I think it was at Chops at the bottom.
Wow.
You know, they got the whole restaurant. We
Yeah.
sat down and talked like about how he was sitting here, I was sitting here. We just conversed, and at the time, my daughter was, I think, 13 at the time. She's 23 now. No, she was about 5.
Yeah, young.
I'm old, boy.
Young.
So he was like, yeah, I got a daughter the same age. And, you know, he got the same dinner that I got.
Yeah.
We just talked, and then he gave me his van at the end of the night, told me to go have fun in Atlanta.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that's and you know, the 2 Live Stews in there talking trash. They like, you going to Magic City tonight? I was like, nah, I should have never went to Magic City in my life.
You know, it's
I
funny.
love Magic.
Yeah,
I
Stews
love
South
Magic.
Carolina. I know
love
they
Magic.
were talking
I
trash.
never
It's
went
funny
to
you brought
South
them up because those 2 guys, man, we really, honor and look up to and would like to grow to their level as they was with radio. I don't know what happened. I think they were blackballed out of radio.
Yeah.
But they're 2 of the most amazing radio people I've ever heard.
They have personalities
Yeah.
that we see now. Their personality back then.
It's just not coming out right now.
Exactly. The personality that they're
They were ahead of
allowing
their
now
time.
that they were then.
Yeah,
I
they were
think
doing that
some
back
people
then.
just didn't like their personality because they were so upfront and so, out.
They had the #1 show.
Yeah.
And they were like,
Yeah,
I don't-
100%.
And I don't see how. Well, I actually saw their podcast.
they just now started back the podcast.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, I just saw them
But
having
kind
a
of like
podcast.
that setback. Now they got to gain it back. They'll get it back because
People
who they
got,
are.
but you got
it's
so
like
many people in the,
Yeah.
in the market now. You know, like
They do.
It's different when you
They do.
start off that way and you kind of stay through it.
Yeah. But they had to
you
stop
know,
and
yeah,
start. But they're
stop
gonna
and
get
start.
through
Man,
it.
let me tell
Doug
you,
and
man,
Brian, they know what they're
Stews-
doing.
The Stews were too dope to not still be on radio in some kind of capacity.
Yeah.
Like 2, I'm talking about.
There was something going
Yeah,
on.
I don't know the story
Yeah, I mean, I'm
what
sure,
happened, but,
and,
you know.
and it's for them to tell. You
Yeah.
know, one day when they
Yeah.
get the opportunity. But look, just speaking of, we talked about the game against Vic, man. I've always wanted to know, like, from an NFL defender's perspective, man, what was the perception on Michael Vick?
There wasn't no
from
perception. The
defense?
reality. You seen it on TV.
Okay, well, tell
Ain't
me
no
what's the
damn
reality.
perception. Like, ain't nothing to perceive, boss. Whatever you think is right. Like, whatever y'all
Yeah.
think is right. Whatever
So you got a
if
chance to
think-
practice with him, right? You played 1 year, right?
Like I said,
Well, he
whatever
played against
y'all
him as
think-
well.
Like when I said playing against him and playing with him, he's just you know, when you was little, they said people got eyes behind their head, or
Yeah.
I only seen this kind of person one time in my life. Like that's how he was. It was nothing regular about this guy. I mean, his swag. If you walked around, certain people you walk around, you know they different.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was a superstar and wasn't even trying to be.
yeah. He was
The
just
thing
him.
about the stuff he did was trying to help his family out. People was giving him money. He was the football version of Iverson. Like to us, he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there was so many young black guys that were.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, no, think about it. There was so many young black guys that just wanted to be themselves. We grew up in the hood, or you grew up around people, having braids, or having a lot of jewelry and stuff, is stuff that you wanted to go for, and you wanted to do it the right way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like you were trying to show off or nothing like that. That was just your
was
culture.
just how you kicked.
So when he came around and he was just himself, and if you talk to Vic, you know that Vic is just a cool dude, man. And for us, I guess in our community, for what he did for the dog fights wasn't bad because we understood the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, for people that didn't grow up in that certain area, because look, I can go to a certain culture and they be coked up, and I'd be like, I don't see how y'all do that cocaine, but for them, that's their status of making it. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, like we was talking earlier, for us it was drinking. Like for young boys, oh man, that dude can't even drink. So for me, that was like a status thing for me when I got to the league, because I came in like all my teammates was drinking. I was like, dang, how am I gonna be like, how they gonna listen to me if I ain't out here doing the same thing they're doing? If I ain't out here going into clubs, if I ain't out here if I ain't hanging out with them, and I'm just going home, because I know how I talk about people who do that. You know what I mean? And that dude, he don't do that. All he do is do this. He a L7,
Not
so,
the L7.
Yeah. So so for me, it was more like that's how I learned how to, I guess, coordinate with my teammates. But now looking back, I should have just been myself. You know what I'm saying? Just been myself and like, look, this is what I do. This is what I do. But because a lot of times I heard somebody say, a lot of us be acting. And I acted a lot in my life. And I can say during my football career, it was a lot of acting. Like it was just acting that I was cool, acting like I was this, putting up money for people that I probably shouldn't have, because I wanted that gratification I wasn't getting from other parts of my life. Like being injured, or, even investing in something like you done lost an investment, whether your investment was drinking, that's a loss. You can see at the end of the day, you might say some points, like I said, you can say it was a good thing, but at the end of the day, you can see the losses coming from it. So I invested a lot of my time. I don't really care about the money as much. People always talking about, oh man, you lost all that money, you spent all this money doing this. You can take the money out. But the time that I missed with, my kids, the time that I missed with my mom, the time that I missed with probably could have been doing something productive, like now I'm doing sign language, now I'm back in college. Stuff, that is what I missed. Like the money, that's fine. But the experience that you get when you get like a certain age, bro, and you're comfortable in life, you ain't gonna be worrying about how much money you got in the bank. You're gonna be worrying about how much time you got left. Yeah. You're gonna be worrying about like, dude, did I wasted my time doing this? Like, man, I spent 10 years doing this. And I even broke it down to this, man. You say, I did 15 years in the NFL, right? So you saying for 5,000 straight days, I was an NFL player. And
you think about
4 years it took me to be an NFL player. So I invested 1,500 straight days in just trying to get to the NFL. And when you start seeing days you put in this stuff, it messes you up. You probably been doing music for about 30 years, right?
I've been since 2005.
Yeah,
2005.
19 years?
I got
20
years.
Up, man. So 20 years.
I got my first music check in 1998.
So check it out.
Wow.
20 years. So that's 7,000 straight days. If you start from here to now, and you say in 98, so you talking about almost 30 years. So you see how much days you put into something. Like even now, y'all just started this. Like, oh man, we've been doing so. It's like 6 months, 7 months, 180 days straight. And when I look at football, like in days, and only reason, you know how I found out how to think like this? When I looked at my sober date, and it tells me I'm 1,400 days, and I'm like 1,400 days. I said it's like 4 years. Like make it easy for me. Yeah. Then I looked back and I thought about it. I said, dang, I played 15 years in the league, so 300 times. I'm like, boy, so I did that joint for 5,000 straight days. I was a football player. Wow. Like even the days off, I still was considered a football player. Yeah. Even all this, I was still considered a football player.
Shoot, it look like you can go suit up now, man. Get us about 10, 15 cents.
From what they paying, I'll try. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, for that, I'll try. I'll be out there getting my butt. Hey,
I know you got a question. I want to say this. So I know I looked at my research yesterday. You was drafted in 2000, man, the same year as Tom Brady. That's huge, man. Like, that's a good draft class. And then I noticed that the Jets had back-to-back picks in the first round.
Yeah, that's why I got this 13. I was a 13 pick.
And so they had 12 and 13. They drafted Ellis in front of you. And then I looking at the career, it seemed like you should have been drafted ahead of him.
I wouldn't say that because, they
defense again.
Y'all were both Pro Bowlers.
I would say you got to see.
You had more sacks than him.
It's kind of how you look at an artist. If you go back to what they started, and then you see their career. Yeah. But at the time, he was the better pick. I mean, I think about it, he came from a national championship team. Oh. He was 270, 280. I'm 240. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see.
But at the end of the day, that dog came out of you, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, if you look at people's careers, but trust me, you can go right now and look at some artists that you signed, and you'll look at their career, you be like, man, I really thought he was going to do way better than this cat. But you see the work ethic, and also you see sometimes stuff is different.
When y'all played together, like y'all were two beasts, huh?
Yeah, we lived together. Together. When we got drafted, like we actually had the same agent, everything. It was just weird because we were sitting like just like we sitting here. Yeah. We was at this little bar. Having our draft party because we weren't invited to New York. Like now they invite the whole first round. Yeah. So they sat there, they called Sean. They're like, yeah, okay, the Jets gonna pick Sean at 12. Everybody was all excited.
How you felt?
No, let me finish though, because they didn't even finish. Like it was like they gonna get Sean at 12. Hey John, they gonna get you at 13 too. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on. I'm like, whoa.
That's crazy.
No, so right when they said Sean. And you understand, me and Sean just met each other like before the draft. We had the same, we started hanging out and everything. Yeah. His mom met my mom, and then like think about it, Sean John, we just got picked in New York, so we like, what? So I had to go in the bathroom and cry because I ain't believed it. Because my mom ain't never seen me cry, so I was like, shit, my mom ain't gonna see me break down over this shit. I'm like, so I walked in the bathroom, cried a little bit, and they called my name, and then it was just like, it's on from now. And that was the first time I got drunk. That was the first night I got drunk. Wow. That was the first night I got drunk. Yep, I went out. They had a season. They had the summer game, the spring game, in South Carolina. Okay. Because that's where I went to school. Like I went there with a full suit on. I congratulated everybody. I thanked everybody for me being picked in the first round. They was just getting off the field and everything. Then I went and started drinking. That was my first time ever getting drunk.
Wow.
Wow, man. Hey, man, they took 2 defensive ends back to back. But they
I was a linebacker
they set the linebacker eventually moved to defensive
Okay,
end.
okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was outside
Yeah,
linebacker.
yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, if I'd have played outside linebacker my whole career, that's another thing that really bothered me my whole career because I was a good defensive end, but I was a better outside linebacker. My last year in Arizona, I think I had 11 and a half sacks. And that was 35 years old.
Were you coming off a different side of Calais Campbell during that time?
Both sides.
Oh, yeah, y'all was on the same side?
Yeah, same side sometimes.
But what you gonna do?
I used
What
to
you gonna
flip,
do?
you know.
What
like
you gonna do?
Even when I played here, it was like either other side. But, you know, not knocking anybody I ever played with, but I've never played with somebody the caliber of Calais or...
How was that, man?
Or Darnell Dockett.
Oh, man. I forgot about Darnell Dockett.
It was fun because I always wanted to be an outside linebacker.
And so you was outside linebacker at
Yes,
Arizona?
I was like 240. So for me, it was like, people don't understand how many games I missed. I missed like 40-some games when I played in my career. That's like 3 years of football. So my numbers, I'm 13 all time with sacks. I was number 9 when I retired. If I would have got those games in, it wouldn't have been an issue of if I would have been a Hall of Fame. It was like when I'm going or what, you know, because I'm saying I get 5-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro. The average is you need to be like 7 times Pro Bowl and I think 3 times All-Pro first team. So if I would have had those years that I was kicking butt, like I was kicking butt straight in New York, like just kicking butt. I only made the Pro Bowl 1 time in Atlanta. That's what surprised me
That
when I
was
look
2008?
back. I don't know, but it was like, hey, but I only made it 1 time when I was in Atlanta. But if you was in Atlanta, you would think I made it more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I only made it 1 here, and I made it 1 in Arizona.
You were a straight up problem. I would tell you straight up, man. You were a problem. Like, man,
it was fun, man.
The city loved you here on the team.
And I should have showed y'all more love. That's what I'm saying. Like I should have came out and did more things, but my mindset from being in New York, it kind of mess you up because you don't really like to deal with people.
From what standpoint?
You don't like to deal with people because you see how quick they can flip on you. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you'll see a lot of these people that are very good athletes, but they don't really have that social, like they just don't have that social desire because I can go and be having a good time with you. One person, like you can come and say something to me and I'll be uncomfortable. My friend flip on you, the whole story gets switched in your mind. Like, oh, that John Abraham, he like this, he like that, and da. Man, you know how many times I got called gay when I was here? And I ain't knocking no gay people, but they thought because I went out like that, you know, like if you turn a girl down in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
You turn a girl down, oh, he did. I'm like, dude, like, baby, I ain't got nothing against you. I just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the story, and then, hey, I started, they had that lipstick alley thing, and they was just trying to spread so many rumors. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to chill and be myself. Because Atlanta kind of weird. Like, in my first year here, I was just like, I thought it was going to be cool. I was like, man, they be coming after people out here. Like, it was tough, man.
So, look, when you got here, like you say, 2006, right? You ended up getting hurt your first year here. Now, 2007, the unfortunate circumstances surrounding Vic happened. I mean, what was the mood around the team? I think I already know, but I just would like to hear from somebody who was on it.
I can't say the team. I can see me personally.
Okay,
that,
what was your mood?
It was deflated, man, because I lost Patrick Kearney that year, too. Then I knew I wasn't going to have Vic. And it was just like, dang, man, I messed up. I signed to come to Atlanta. I came just for Vic. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't really knew nobody else on the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got to meet Roddy. I got to meet Babineau. I got to meet a lot of guys that I ended up having real friendships with afterwards. But it was Vic's show. Like, and I don't care who you were. No, like, be real. You knew Algie Crumpler.
You hear that? A defensive guy came to play because of Vic. That's crazy.
A lot of people do. A lot of guys, people don't understand. Like, if you look at Dwight Freeney, me and him have the exact same numbers. Like, exact same numbers. But he played with Peyton Manning. But he's a Hall of Famer now. So if you look at exact same numbers, bro, if you look at it, you be like, this guy got the exact. So he played with him, and he got to win a championship, and he stayed in the same place pretty much his whole career. Yeah. And you know, and you know, just like I know, it's all about relationships. And even in the NFL, like you see people getting in the Hall of Fame and doing this, they have good relationship with the media. They really don't get in trouble. But if you look at our stats, you're like, what's the difference? They literally the same stats.
Well, I'm here to say, man, like, the Water Boys, we're going to support you, man. I think you should do more stuff like this because you definitely got a story to tell. And I think when people hear your story, that's going to uphill you to get to where you need to go, man, because you got the numbers to prove it, and you're a good guy, man. I see that coming. Yeah, I see that coming for you, man.
No question, man.
2007, man. So Bobby Petrino leaves, man.
How was he?
Man, Can I curse on it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Man, fuck that motherfucker. Hey, dead ass. And you know the funny thing was, like, I've always tried to be a person that not talk shit about a coach and not put a coach under the bus, even though everything he was doing was wrong. Like, everything he was doing was wrong. Like, we literally could not speak in meetings. We had to be there at certain times. Like during, like, I remember one time we was at some game. We were about to do a game, and we were outside talking outside of a meeting room. This dude came and said, "Y'all shut up. Y'all gonna talk?" I'm like, we can't talk. So we literally had to be like,
why y'all couldn't talk what was going on?
I don't know. We had to be at breakfast at the same time, and everybody had to just sit here and like, you know, you have a certain things that you do as a player to get ready. And I mean, even how he left, bro. I was in the mall. I was in the mall with my daughter, right? And I was just doing some like off day shopping or something. I think it was Monday. I used to always go to Lenox or something, or either Phipps, just to walk through the mall, just to get my mind away from football. And we was losing bad too that year. I see the trainer. Our trainer come up like, no, he driving through there. He like, "John." I'm like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" You see somebody, they just like, they don't look right.
Yeah.
I said, "Man, what's going on?" He was like, "Man, he left us." I said, "Who the hell is he?" What you talking about? I'm like, no, this is the dude. It wasn't even on TV yet. So all he did was he had a meeting in the morning. He left a paper on like everybody's chair saying that he was leaving. So he didn't even, and then like
Wasn't
literally,
mad enough to speak to y'all personally.
No, yeah. Then literally maybe an hour later, I see him on the thing singing the
Sweet.
Yeah. But I promise you, it was so
wasn't
crazy.
that after a Monday night game?
Yes.
Bro, like, hey, let me ask you something, Trey. What was he thinking when Vic got hurt, man? Bobby Petrino, what was he thinking, man?
What was Bobby Petrino
When Vic
thinking?
left, what was he thinking?
Well, Vic didn't get hurt. You talking about when Vic went through his circus?
Yeah.
He was like, he went home. He said, hey, baby. Oh, fuck. They done locked number 7 up. I didn't come here for this shit. I come here, they got planes over my practice field saying dog killer on the back of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Like, they got dog killer flying over my practice field. These folks want to talk outside the damn meeting room, and they done left me with Joey Harrington. I'm out this bitch.
And what he say? When he got to the play?
His wife said, "Well, where you going?" He turned around and said, "Sweet."
Hey,
man, that's crazy, man.
That dude a jackass, man.
Yeah,
think about it though. Didn't he get caught like a year later on
that motorcycle with old girl
with one of his little chicks? Getting in, man. Like, come on, man. And I don't really like talk because I got my own dirt.
I get what you're saying.
Some stuff, man, you be like, bruh.
Yeah,
man.
he didn't handle that as a man. When Arthur Blank comes out, now I don't know Arthur Blank.
Hot.
You do.
But
looking at the type of man that Arthur Blank at least seems to be from afar.
Yeah.
All I can speak is from afar. When he came out and said the things that he said and displayed the frustration and the disappointment, I knew that Bobby Petrino, he handled that as a straight cow.
I would say
you won't have to say it.
You're 100% right.
I'll say it.
You're 100% right. Let me tell you, I've always seen, when I've seen Arthur, he's always been chill, laid back. When I seen him take his coat off,
Blank took it off bar style.
You know when you have those certain triggers, you'll see somebody like, you might see B-Rick do some, take his hat off or something like that. So he came in the meeting room.
He took that coat off.
Guys, I fucked up. I'm dead. He was just like, guys,
What?
I fucked up.
Arthur Blank said he fucked up.
He said, guys, I fucked up. And he just went on a rant from like, man, this, and just talking about, he like pretty much the same stuff you were saying. He was saying, he was just like, yeah, like it was on me, guys.
So was it like the scene was it the scene like in Minnesota, like, you done fucked up, right?
Yeah,
it was like that.
Yeah,
he was like,
he literally came and he took all the credit for making the bad decision. It wasn't nothing like he said, well, we can get better from this. He said, look, I know I'm going to get somebody that we can finish this. But I think Emmett and one of our coaches ended up finishing the season. We won like one more game or something like that. Was pretty cool.
Was it Emmett Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. But like my thing was how he took. Like that's what a lot of men don't understand about, the life of a successful people. You have to be able to take fails and man up to it. Like that's why I said with me, when I fail, I wouldn't man up to it sometimes. I fail and I just start, like I said, I keep punishing myself for a failure compared to saying, I failed that. What I'm gonna do now? Now, like I changed now. Like if I do something now and I mess up, what I'm doing now.
I can't wait
totally
to really
changed.
I can't wait to really touch on that, man. Before we end, I really want to touch on the point that he's making now. We're talking about football now, but I really want to touch on the self-punishing and things like that, because that's something I really want to talk to you about.
Yeah, that's
man.
cool.
Man, I always looked at 2007 as such a woulda, coulda, what if year. Now that I hear the way you said Bobby Petrino handled y'all outside of meetings, it was almost like a college atmosphere. So I don't think it would have worked, but just on the outside, the way I was looking at it at first, I'm like, look, man, we got our pass rusher, man. We got man. We got Vic. We got an offensive coach who's supposed to come in and help unlock Vic. When you look at the man's staff, the man had Mike Zimmer as a DC. Mike Zimmer, we all know, has had years of being successful at DC. I don't know what the team's perception of Mike Zimmer was, but Mike Zimmer has had success as a DC. You had Hugh Jackson as the OC. It seemed like he had a staff put together, man, but Bobby Petrino was just apparently just not the guy for the team to help prepare y'all way out.
Man, when you say those names, it was kind of nice.
You know what I'm saying?
When you say the names, because like you gotta understand, like just like in y'all business and my business, you would be around somebody that's super famous and don't even know it because y'all in the same business.
Yeah.
Like you saying, like you saying Mike Zimmer. I'm looking like, oh, bro, I did. That's
crazy.
coach me.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, he used to coach me. Like literally, like, bro, I had like Tony Gonzalez right here. I had Matt Ryan. I had Mike Vick. I could sit there and talk to these guys like straight up front. And when you're in that vibe, it's just life. You don't even think about. You don't think about that you're doing something that people. Like not even 1% of the people in the world probably can do. Like I can call so-and-so and just be like this. And you just saying that, like talking about the coaches I had, I'm like, dang, man, I've been blessed.
Yeah.
And I ain't even realized how good I had it because I didn't pay attention at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, you're in the moment. You're worrying about yourself. You're thinking about your life. You're thinking about, if I could go back, I would take more into just being in that moment because, like I said, depression comes from thinking in the past, and anxiety comes from the future. I was never really in the moment.
Wow.
If you get, cause like my football went like this because I never really enjoyed the moment. I was always thinking about the next day or what I did wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I can definitely relate.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I like. If people say, "Oh, you had a great career," but my whole career, I always thought about the games I missed, or I thought about the plays I missed, or I thought about like the situation with Vic, or I thought about the situation with Patrick Kearney leaving. I'm like, dude, instead of me saying like the positive, I got to work with Babineau, or I got to work with Mike Zimmer, or I got to work with Rod. I got to work with Roddy White. I got to see Julio come in the league. I got to see Matt Ryan come in the league. So I'm starting, like in my life now, I try to look at all the positives that I've been through because my positives really way outweigh my negatives. But when you pad your stats, like even how I prepared to play football, I never looked at my good plays. I would always look at my negative plays so I didn't get them again. Because I hated.
That's why he was great.
I hated being called out though. It was more because I hated being called out. Like I didn't want I remember my rookie year. John, you got an ME. I ain't even knew what an ME was at the time, but it was a mental error. And I'm like, mental, I ain't stupid. Like, that wasn't no mental error. I just didn't know to play. That's mentally not prepared. So, yes. So I'm like, like you say, so you got a mental error. And I remember just getting so many mental errors my rookie year, but I was being productive. Yeah. But so everyone watching was like, dang, John Abraham balling out. But in the meeting room, John, you messing up this, you doing this. Yeah, like, we don't know if we can trust you on the field. I'm looking like, man, I'm leading the team in sacks. What are you talking about? So, but then I got older and I started really learning the game. Like anything you do in life, when you first start something, you do it with passion. But then when you really start learning, you start doing it intellectually. You intellectually, like all the stuff I was doing before, you might go way out the way. Like I'm doing all this extra stuff. I'm running way to the ball here, running way over here, making a play like 20 yards down the field. I could have made it 2 yards in the backfield. When I started getting my common sense and started like, I'm gonna show everybody how fast I am. Boom. Oh, yeah, got me. You see that? Then like when I got the year like 5, 6, especially when I got to Atlanta, I started coming to work on Wednesdays and I used to sit there and watch film. And I'm like, man, because I ain't thought I was getting slower, but at the same time, as I'm doing too much work, I'm tired. I'm tired. So let me see what I can do. Oh, shit. Oh, he go that way. I just follow him right here at the play. That's a lot of things that people don't. It's the intellectual part of the game is so major. Like the thing, everybody done seen somebody that, like, okay, and I ain't trying to knock these people, but Ray Edwards was probably when you see this guy with his shirt off when he first came in, like workout dude, just boom, 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 big as hell. You know, everything you see that you want in a player.
Yeah.
Like physically.
You play with him, right?
Yes, everything you see in the player, you want this. Then when he got on the field, he wasn't coachable. And I'll tell him to his face, like, me and him friends, I love the dude to death, man. All the weird shit he do, I fuck with him, like, period blank. Like, that's my teammate. Me and him had talked together, like, we battled on the field together. I'll always be there for anything he need. But he was just not coachable. Like, and he just didn't like to listen to people. And if you told Ray anything, he gonna go straight. You tell him to go right, he gonna be like, man.
Is that why he was cut in the middle of the year?
Yeah, it was I don't really like to talk about personal stuff, but personally, I can talk about what happened to me. It was after a game, and, a situation popped off after we went to Minnesota. And, Arthur Blank came to me. He said, can you go talk to him? I went and talked to him, and, it still didn't work how they wanted it to. So after that game, that's when we kind of moved on. But it wasn't, like I said, he's just he's a great dude, but you can tell, like, and this comes all from treatment and stuff like that. That childhood trauma, you can tell in some men.
Yeah.
You could tell in some men they gotta defend their honor regardless of anything. Like, some people just don't back down.
Yeah.
You can have a guy that be dead wrong, but you'll know he will deflect everything onto everybody else until he feels comfortable. And Ray, he just had that fire in him. I don't know if it's where he's from, anything, but Ray wouldn't take anything, even if you was trying to be productively. Like, he'll listen to me because I never came at him wrong.
Yeah.
I never screamed at him. I never hollered at him. It was more like, hey, bro, this, and this. And he'll be like, okay, Abe, I got you. But then somebody else will come and say the same thing after I said it, then they messed up.
Yeah.
Like, if B. Rich tell me one thing, and then you come and try to tell me, he's like, okay, I heard it from him. Then you got a whole nother Ray.
Yeah.
Then I can't. Then me, whatever I say is washed away. Y'all picking on me now.
Yeah.
He didn't play that. Like, the dude boxed now, so he didn't play that. So,
he
one person can say it like,
boxing now, knocking folks out.
One person can say it, but then you got another person. Then he out of character. Then.
Well, you know what I can say is, like, that attitude. He probably could have still been playing. A couple more years, and that kind of got him out the league. Like,
that's not. I think even when y'all was talking about Jamal Anderson being a bust and.
So what was up with him? I know you don't like to talk.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna tell you, it's my perspective, so you can't say I'm down the guy. Now, he used to get a lot of ass. I'll tell you that. So you gotta understand what people in the league for. Some people didn't come to the league to be. They didn't come to the league to be superstars and everything. They came. He was surprised he was drafted so high. He had one good year in college. Like, and they drafted him like then. Like, think about it. Like, you gotta understand. Like, everybody is not prepared to come to the league to be a superstar. Everybody didn't sign up for this game to be what y'all wanted.
So
him
he
to
was
be.
in it for the hoes and the money.
I ain't saying he.
I'm
not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't like football. He came in as a receiver, then they moved him to defensive end. Yeah. And you got some people come just to provide for their family.
Yeah.
Some people say this is a job. This is entertainment. If I'm not a good actor for you, I apologize.
Yeah.
Just because I can't play this role for you, I apologize. Yeah. Just because I can't do certain things don't mean I'm a bust, because regardless of what you say, the guy still was drafted in the first round.
Yeah, he was.
Like, that's something you can say for the rest of your life.
Yeah. He was.
Like, how many one-hit wonders y'all know?
Well,
zillions of them, and they can live from it. So if people get paid off one song, he got paid off what he did in college.
He did.
And he if this is what you decide to do, and this is my position, and this is what I play, that's why I don't like really calling people bust unless you ask them what they were coming to the league for. Now, if you tell me, now I can say I was a bust, because me personally, I feel like I was a bust. Even though I'm saying me personally, because I didn't win a Super Bowl, I didn't get Player of the Year, I didn't do a lot of things that I wanted to do. So it's a perception of what this person comes in the league for. Because me personally, that's why I said I was so hard on myself. So y'all might have seen this guy that always was confident and thinking this, but you ain't seen that I was broken inside because I wasn't achieving what I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I came to Atlanta, I knew I was gonna win a ring here, and it would have been the first time that we won. So I was like, I know I'm gonna win a ring here. We got Vic. We're just gonna pick. It might not be the first year, it might not be the second year. I got Patrick Kearney. I got me a dog at end. I'm gonna ball out. Boom, something happened. Dang.
Was Patrick Kearney that dude?
Patrick? Man, Pat was. You see some people that work on their craft.
Yeah.
He worked on his craft. He wasn't a football player. He was a lacrosse player.
Yeah.
But he worked on his craft. Like, this guy was like diesel. Like he worked to be a better player.
Wow.
Some people just work on their certain things.
Like
He wanted
to come in the league.
He wanted, yes,
trying to get out of it.
exactly. Like, some people come for a check. Some people come to literally be. they want to leave a legacy in the league. I came to leave a legacy, and so every time I got hurt, every time I missed a game, or every time I would falter off the field, it would be a takeaway from the mountain I was trying to build. So my anthill only got this big to me because I felt like, for me personally, I felt like I should have been here. I felt like I should have won a championship. I felt like I should have been Defensive Player of the Year, and a lot of my stuff came from just injuries. But I would self-harm myself mentally, or I self-harm myself physically. Sometime after I was done, it got real bad, because I knew I couldn't get none of that stuff back. When I was playing, it was always that hope. It was always that hope that, next year or this. But then when, my last game, I got hit in the head. And this one, I knew I should have stopped playing probably at year 12 or maybe at year 11. Mm-hmm. But, I still had that hunger to win a ring or da-da-da-da. But I came back. I actually talked to Bruce Arians. I told Bruce, I said, man, I don't think I can play no more. I said, I can't remember stuff. I'm losing my keys. I'm probably on my 30th credit card or my debit card. I can't keep these. I don't even know where half of my stuff is. I don't know where none of my jewelry at. I can't remember stuff. And he was like, football is your thing. Just try to come back out there. So I came back out. I ended up getting hit in the head, and I went to the doctor. Cause they did a little test afterwards to see where your brain is and all that stuff like that. But he said you're bleeding. He said you're bleeding on both sides of your brain. Well, you probably won't be able to play no more. I said, man, I guess that explains a little why couldn't remember. I guess that explains a little while. But he said, it can heal, but you have to, stop drinking. You have to do this. Because you get hit in the head again, we don't know how serious or how, if it could get better, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to quit. And this is going into year 15, and I was 8 sacks away from being in the top 5.
So that's the reason why you stopped playing, because your ability was still there.
Yeah. I was still in great shape. I was 36. I was in great shape, and I was but it was But I knew I should have stopped before then, but it was just I want to keep going.
What you love.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the money. It was to the point then. It was the point then. I knew what. Trying to make up for my mistakes. I felt like getting hurt were mistakes. They weren't mistakes. They were just a part of life. But for me personally, it felt like mistakes. So even with my mom, me and my mom at 43, I'm 46 now. At 43, that's when we're finally at a good point. Because when all the stuff that I did in the past, I felt like I owed my mom for. Yeah. And instead of I didn't owe my mom for all the good she did. I owe her for all the bad that happened. All the bad, even being born. Yeah. Because my mom called me a mistake. So my whole life, I felt like I was a mistake. So think about going your whole life. And 43, my mom called me a mistake. That was 3 years ago. She called me a mistake. And I told her, I said, Mom, when am I going to stop being a mistake? Because I got kids. I got all this stuff. I bought you a house, bought you a car. I'm taking care of everybody. I'm doing all this, but you still calling me a mistake. She said, oh, I didn't mean it like that, baby. I said, but you got to understand, some people take things the wrong way. And I said, at this point, you should be very happy and proud of me. Yeah. And, we talked about it, and now we're best friends. We talk all the day. Yeah. But also you got to give your parents grace and understand how they was raised. Yes. And I think my aunt told me the biggest thing is love the person for who they are now. Yeah. So I love my mom now, and I don't try to change her. I don't think she owes me anything, And it's working with my kids, and it's working with my mom, it's working with my family. And I think that's the biggest part of being a man that I've ever felt. Yeah. I don't care about buying her a house. I don't care about buying her a car or being able to take care of people's bills. But being able to have my mom call me at any time and be able to talk about anything is probably the thing I was looking for in my life the whole time. So we can sit here and, I guess, fight all our life to be the most successful person or do this and do that. But until you find that really, that basis of what really makes you happy, and I'm a family man, I didn't realize, I always try to pay for family. Yeah. When I say pay for family, every time I go out, I'll try to get this person to like me. Or every time I go out, I'll try to pay for this person's drink, or I'll buy somebody a car just because I think they need a car and this, and this. And, wow. I got family now. I got my family now. I got my own kids. I even had to tell my mom, I said, Mom, I can't do for you like that no more. I got kids now. I got 4 daughters. And I said, Mom, I love you to death, but I ain't gonna never be a matriarch of my family if I keep having a patriarch. I'll never be the patriarch of my family if I'm looking up to the matriarch all the time. I'm still looking up to you it's going down here. It's got to start from me. The triangle got to start from here on down. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of us males, we're so insecure about the situation of letting our parents go. Because, when we're taught, like, you got to take care of your mom, you got to take care of the family, you got to take care of this, and then we don't never take care of ourselves. They talk about so many athletes going broke, but they never talk about how many of those family members they helped before they went broke. They never talk about how many times they gave money to a friend and the person tricked it off. You know what I'm saying? They never talk about that. So it ain't like we go broke just going out here buying buildings and tricking off every day or doing stuff like that. It's really stuff that we thought was going to make, like it's real stuff that we put in. And I hate to say it, being a black male, I got taken more from black people than I did from white people. And me trying to help my black community, me trying to help my black friends, or me trying to help those people, it hurt more than, like, I paid my agent. I had a black agent at first. Worst decision in life. And not saying it's black, because I do take it to be as the person, but I had a black agent first. I went to the white agent. It was a whole different situation. Wow. Like, it was nothing taken. They handled it professionally. And like I said, and also it was in 2000 then. That's when people really didn't have a lot of, I guess, they didn't know what was going on. Okay. Just like with y'all on music, we didn't know music was gonna be. If I knew hip hop and everything would be like this, I would have been in his back pocket. Like, when I got to Atlanta, I would have done a lot more, because like Boo, Akon brother. Yeah. He lived in the building. He was my neighbor on the other floor. Yeah. On 13, he was my other neighbor. Yeah. So there was a lot of people that I could have connected to in Atlanta. Yeah. God was blessing me with, like, just people right there, but I never took it. I never looked at it and said, this is what's happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, when like I said, when he called or other people call me and they want me to do something, I see the blessings. Yeah. I didn't see the blessings. I was blessed with two guys that could have had John Abraham all up in that mix.
You know what, Trey and John, like, when we lived next door, this is cool to me, because I never brought up Falcons then. I was always his friend. You know what I mean? I ain't never talk about nothing to do with the Falcons. We was just friends, and, like, this is exciting to be able to talk to you about what happened, the football. I know it's some more questions we want to ask you and get some more insight, but the main thing that I like to hear what you said and to talk to the people out there with you and your mom, I think communication.
Yes.
I think if everyone learns how to communicate, that can fix a lot of problems. I think what we do as people is we internalize. I know I internalize, and I take things the wrong way.
That's talk, though.
And it's like, recently I internalized the text message the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we communicated. That's the thing. I think communication is the key. For you and your mom, what you said, make you feel better, have more complete. And so I'm just telling y'all, man, instead of internalizing, communicate. And I think that's the key.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared to lose somebody. If they really deal with you, they really dig with you, they don't care about that. Because, like, that's my thing. I was always scared to offend people. Like, my coaches, because, like, ever since I was younger, it was always, my mom was a real religious person, so she had me scared of everything. Scared of drinking, scared of sex, scared of getting in trouble. So I was just scared of everything. So whenever I would do something, like, automatically I felt like, what's going to come? I'm going to hell for this. I'm doing this. Like, I'm dead serious, because my mom was just...
My mom putting that self-guilt on yourself.
Yeah, but and like I said, think about it. It's different if you, like, even my kids now, I'll tell my kids, if y'all going to have sex, make sure you use a condom, and I would like for you to do it this way, but I'm realistic. My daughter's 15. She's about to be 16. I got a 23-year-old daughter. She's part of the LGBT. Yeah, she's part of that community. And me and her cool as hell, and it don't bother me at all. But I speak to them just like, because it's life. And if we don't talk about life, our kids will never learn, because we're scared. Well, my mom, she didn't tell me so much. So I learned most of my stuff from watching everybody else. You know what I'm saying? If this working for this man, working for this man, and I don't even know this guy, but he got a lot of girls, so I'm going to do that. Oh, this guy doing this. Oh, I need to spend money to do this. Oh, I need this, and this. Instead of saying, you can't help it. But I'm not mad at myself now. It's all about, like, what kind of man you want to. When I'm done with this world, you got to use you, right? Yeah. I want to make sure what they put on there is, like, my daughters be able to say something. I don't care if you say something. I don't care if you say something. I don't care if the man next to me. I don't care about none of that. I'm like, at the end of the day, what you want them to say? Like, I'm 46 right now. I don't know how many years I got left. But at the end of the day, what do you want to be said? You want them to talk about your football career? I say, not really. I mean, because it's kind of boring to me. But I'm like, you want people to know that you was a great father. Like, at the end of the day, being a dad, you want that too. You want people to know that I was a great father. Like when I get older, I don't care about all my achievements. Oh, you better not be at my funeral talking about he made 5 Pro Bowls, he had 100. Man, I don't want to. Hey, they better be talking about, what I did for my family and how good I was. That's what I want to talk about.
Let me tell you, John, when I think about, if someone was to ask me, like, what do you want to accomplish? What's some of your goals? Like, what do you want to be known as at the end? One of the top things on my list, and this is no bullshit. I tell people all the time, I have 2 boys, 12 and 9. I want both of my boys to be able to honestly, in their heart and their soul, say, I want to be the type of father my dad was.
Exactly.
Like that mean like that's up there on my like that means so much to me.
That's all.
Like
I am
that is like right there. I can't put anything of like I want my boys to stand up one day and mean it and say,
and that's all.
I want to be the type of father my dad was.
That's all I am.
God
now.
gave me a great father. I'm gonna be a great father.
With my girls, that's all I like. That's all I think about now. Like even to stop drinking and stop going to strip clubs, stop all that other stuff. It's just like, man, literally, my dad was. He wasn't even nowhere close to what I am. Like I can't, like nowhere close. I knew who he was, but I ain't never knew him. Like I might have met him 10 times in my life. He only stayed 5 minutes away from me, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy. So you know, I'm proud he wasn't in my life. Cause think about it. Sometimes you know we get so pent up on the person not wanting us and not realizing they might not just need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad was a heavy alcoholic. My dad died in 2010.
I'm sorry.
With no legs. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Shit. I ain't had nothing to do with it. But, you know, the funny thing was, he died to me way before he died. Like, it's because I bought him here. I know he died in 2014. In 2012 or 2011, I bought him here to try to, because I seen the Deion story about him and his dad getting to know each other before he died and all that stuff. And at the time, my dad didn't have no legs because he was a heavy alcoholic. Like, you know, no fingertips, no legs, nothing like that. But I bought him here, and he was in my house, and it was late. It was about like 3 in the morning. I heard somebody calling, like, yeah, man, hey, y'all bring me some water. I'm like, nigga, get your, man, you grown-ass man. I said, man, take that man away from me. I said, to the point now, he ain't my dad no more. Like, he just some dude just trying to, like, I took him to the strip club. I did all this stuff, try to get somebody to like me. I'm a dumb-ass dude. Like, why do I got to make someone like me that made me? Man. Like, dude, like, why, that's the dumbest thing. I'm saying, like, so I was in there looking, thinking, like, this is going to bring my kids around? Like, I want my daughter to see this? Yeah, like, even my mom told me, my mom said, the reason why I was so hard on you, because I did not want you to be like your father. Yeah. Like she said, I did not want you to be a mama's boy because my dad lived with his mom to the day he died. And my mom was like, I didn't want that for you. I said, but Mom, you could at least told me a couple things in life. You just let me out. She just let me out of like, you gonna live, you gonna get it on your own. Like, come on.
John, look, I want to ask you this, man. I know me and Trey been dying to ask you this, and I'm gonna let Trey ask it. You know, what was the coach thinking, man? What was the coach thinking?
Oh, we going all the way to 2000.
Yeah, I got it. I can't wait.
Because I did want to ask him a little something about Matt, but since we
ask about Matt, then go there.
Since we're going to, we can go there, and I can come back to Matt. You know what I mean? So I have always wanted to know, like from your perspective, man, what was going through your thought process when Coach Mike Smith, who I thought was one of the best Falcon coaches, made you guys play that last game in the regular season in 2012 against Tampa, and you ended up getting hurt right before the playoffs?
For me personally, I would have did anything for Mike Smith. Like, if it was another coach and he told me to play, I probably got mad, but I was like, you know, it's Mike. He's like, I came into his office so many times broken and wanting to quit football because of my I don't know if you knew that I adopted my nephew and all that stuff, like my last couple of years.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I adopted my nephew, so he was living with me. My mom was going through cancer. Yeah. It was just like life was lifing, bro. Yeah. And I was hanging out with the goons then too. I was hanging out with the Bloods and Crips. I was just thinking I was a gangster or some shit. My mind was just everywhere, but I was just doing bad. But I used to come in his office and talk to him, and he would listen. Wow. And you know how hard that is to have a coach this is the head coach, and he was like, yeah, you know, John, like I remember one time somebody got killed in the club. I think, you know, Jeezy DJ or something got killed in the club, and I was in the club that night. And I missed practice. And I was just like, man, he got in the office. He's like, come on, let me talk to you. Like, what's going on, man? Like, why you? Yeah. I said, I didn't know we had practice. But he sat there and talked to me like a man. So Mike Smith was more than just a coach to me. Like, he was like that father or that big brother that I ain't had. Like, because everybody in Atlanta, they ain't going to tell John Abraham not to go out. They ain't going to tell John Abraham that you doing this or you should chill. Or this.
That was Nando. Like, Nando had died.
No, not Nando. It wasn't Nando. This was
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, this is another. Yeah, but But it was so when he told me like we was gonna play, I thought it was just gonna be like maybe a quarter or two.
Yeah.
We was going into the fourth quarter. We were playing like we were trying to win. I said, this ain't gonna change our season, like
Yeah.
So it was the fourth quarter, and at this time, Donald Penn done told me, he was like, hey. And me and Donald Penn was cool, like even though
One of the linemen for
we
Tampa.
didn't get each other, but we was cool. Like we hung out, on the off season and stuff like that. But he was like, "Hey man, be careful out here. The coaches told us to hurt y'all." I was like, "Stop playing." He's like, "Nah, they told us to hurt y'all. So we gonna be going extra. Like after the whistle, we gonna be doing everything to try to to mess with y'all." And so it was the fourth quarter. I said, "Hell, I'm in the game. I'm out to try to get me a sack." So I came around that corner real smooth, boy. I'm talking about smooth, and I ended up like getting close to him, but I ended up getting hit by Parade Jerry. I didn't even got hurt from them. I got hit by Parade. Parade was coming around. Parade hit me, and I felt I don't know how my leg popped out because it should have been broke, man. Because I came out, I was like, man. and what I told y'all about my self punishment stuff. Every time I be balling out, every time, like when I was in Philly, when I was in New York, had 3.5 sacks in the first half. Came out, I was like, I know I'm gonna break the sack record today. I'm gonna get by 7 today. Came and got hurt. Like came the second half, got hurt. So I'm like, this is my Super Bowl year. I knew it was my man. You couldn't tell us we weren't going to win the Super Bowl, bro. Because our team was just clicking.
Man,
we had that confidence.
12,
like
he said yesterday. He said, "Man, if John would have played, I know he would have made a play."
I knew. If not just one, I know he would have at least made just one play that would have got us through the 49ers. Because couldn't nobody get Colin Kaepernick on the ground. 55 would have got him on the ground.
That's what I'm trying.
I believe that.
But think about it. At halftime. But if y'all would have seen how much treatment I did to play that game, because I did play San Francisco, I just didn't play.
Yeah.
But man, I'm talking. My skin was burned off my ankle. Like you damn near. I was like, man, I'm playing this game. So I got back out there, and it was 17-3 or something at half, and I was crying, man. I said, man, we going to the Super Bowl. I know we're going to the Super Bowl. But then we just chilled out for some reason. I don't know what happened. Like offense,
because Julio had balled out.
The offense just chilled. I like. It's almost, and I ain't trying to bring the Super Bowl up, but it's like the sense of awareness of going to the Super Bowl just disappeared. Like, I'm like, it's 17. We just kind of, the awareness was just like, I'm sitting on the side because I couldn't really play like I wanted to play. So I'm like, I'm trying to tell them, like, what are y'all doing? What are we doing? Like, why we stop throwing the ball? Like, why we doing this? Like, we're losing. Like, then it was over. It's like, I promise you, like, halftime, I'm like, I had an elation that I never had since I was drafted. Like one of those feelings. Like think about it, if you knew you was about to get an award or you knew you possibly could. I don't know what kind of elation that y'all ever had. I don't know what y'all highest point in life was, but think about y'all highest point. And I was like, I'm finally gonna get my highest point. Yeah. And at the time, I was gonna retire after this year because I'm like, I'm good. If I get the Super Bowl, I know I'm being a Hall of Fame if I get the Super Bowl. And then I just started seeing that thing,
John.
And I was like, man. And then, but let me tell you how it spiraled down for me because after that. Like I said, I was raising my nephew. My mom had cancer, so I was going through a lot off the field. And then I signed that year for less money. I could have went to Tennessee and got like straight $10 million. I stayed here for like a 3 years, like 18. Well, it was really like $3 million a year. So I turned down a lot of money to stay here, and I thought I was going to retire here because of my nephew and because of my mom, so I was close to home. And then I ain't even got a phone call. I was at Lonnie House, I threw both of my phones off the roof because I got tired of people telling me, like, people were like, oh man, good season, good. I'm like, man, this ain't it. So I threw both of my phones away. So my sister ended up calling one of my friends that was staying with me at the time, tell her, like, well, the Falcons say they're going to cut you. I was like, what? I was like, man, like life can't be doing this right now. Man. I said, all this stuff going on, man, I had so much going on, man. I was like I'm getting cut. I said, so I wasted a year here, really. And then I ain't trying to say it in a bad way, but as an athlete, when you spend a year with somebody and you sign like a 3-year deal, and I could have went to another team and started my life over there, I stayed here and
for the culture to win.
And like if I wouldn't have got hurt, we was gonna make it to the Super Bowl. Ain't nothing in my mind say we wouldn't, because I would have did something like you said. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel too.
I'm not gassing you up. I truly believe.
And think about it. If we would have played Baltimore, we would have demolished them. I ain't never played bad against Baltimore. I'm just saying that. I ain't never played bad against Baltimore. So for me, it was a lot of stuff coming on, and then I went, and that's when my drinking got bad again because I was hurting in so many other areas. And instead of being a grown up and facing my problems, I was like, man, I'm just gonna go spend money. I'm just gonna go spend money and I'm just gonna have a good time. Like, I ain't gonna be here next year. And I was gonna retire. My sister's like, nah, you gonna play some more because you can play. And I'm like, cool. So I ended up going to Arizona and making the Pro Bowl. It was like one of them bittersweet things. Cause like if somebody fire you and then you go ball out or you go do an impeccable job in another area, you can be like, so what was your issue? You know what I mean? Like, what was your issue?
I could have did this for y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the issue?
So it's a weird situation. It's one of those bittersweet things. But I did make another Pro Bowl, so I can be happy about that. But then I went to the Pro Bowl with. Oh, and also let me tell you what's funny, man. So my nephew, the one I adopted, trying to be a good uncle and all that stuff, because his mom didn't want him, my mom didn't want him.
That's a good thing.
No, but let me tell you, my house in Flowery Branch. Yeah. So I went to Arizona. He was 17 at the time, so I left him at the house. I got to go see if I'm getting this team. Dude had a house party, destroyed the house. He did. So my year was going.
Project X.
Project X, exactly. Yeah. So, bro, my year was going. Yeah. I was just like, because think about, I'm sitting here in the thing, and some kid hit me up like, I hope Mr. Abraham ain't mad. His elliptical machine is inside his pool. I was like,
they had a Project X for real.
No, they broke the roof. Like my house had an indoor pool.
Oh wow!
So it was an indoor pool. They broke the roof. And then I had a man-made lake. Well, not lake, a man-made pond in front. They broke the hoses to the pond, so they just messed up the whole crib.
Did you have an outdoor pool too?
No.
I bet they were around, because that was around the time.
No, this was Lake Lanier. I was going
to say that's around the time Ray J was on the Breakfast Club talking about, I got an indoor pool, got an outdoor pool. I bet they was in there talking shit. We got an indoor pool, got an outdoor pool.
Bro, you see the pictures, though?
God,
you see the pictures.
They really did Project X on your crib.
Yeah, and the crazy thing was, that literally was my dream house. Like, everybody got, like, some people dream houses are condos. Yeah. Or some people dream houses are certain things that people would be, oh, this all you got when you got all this money? Yeah. Like, that's what I wanted. Like, this, I was in, like, nobody was around me. It was perfect. I can go outside naked if I want to. I can shoot my guns in the country. Because I was on that Lake Lanier. Yeah. So for me, like, it was just like being cut, that happening, going through my mom's stuff. So it was like everything was coming at me. But instead of me manning up and just being like, what can I do to change this? Or what can I do for me personally? I just let it just dwell me down. This is just my life. My life is just meant to be messed up. And so, I had to change that outlook. And it took me 12 years to do it. I'm saying it took me 7 years. It took me 7 years after I was done to find. But I had to give up alcohol because I was never going. My brain was going to never heal. Like, my brain was going to never heal if I didn't give up some stuff.
Well, I was just about to say, you probably, going off of the way you say you have taken things, how you put it on yourself with self-guilt, you probably blamed yourself for all that. Like, things that I've done is the reason that this has happened. Exactly.
And it don't got directly be anything I've done to the situation. It could be something I've done in the past that I can feel like I just don't deserve this. And I think that we all should not look at ourselves like that. Like, we deserve anything in life that we want. As long as you put work into it and effort into it, you deserve it. So my thing was, I was just like, even with, I guess they call it a survivor's remorse kind of, like, from where I'm from, like, a lot of my teammates or a lot of people, like, high school, I went to a small high school called, like, Lamar High, graduated with, like, 40-some people. In college, everybody on my team said they wanted to go to the NFL. I wanted to go, too. I'm the only person that really went and made it happen. So it was just like, then I made it to the league, and then, like, my first year, it's just like, it felt like I was making it, and a lot of my people wasn't, so I started feeling bad about making it. I started to feel bad, so, no, man, I started feeling bad.
I can attest to that. Like, when I graduated college and I had got a degree and I got a good job, I used to feel guilty around some of the people that were like the older people that were doing less than me, and I got a good job. But then one day I had woke up and I'm like, well, damn, I chose to go to college and get a degree.
Exactly.
They could have done the same thing. So when I thought that, I stopped feeling guilty about my success.
You start saying, and you ain't being conceited. You just start stating facts on what really happened. Yeah. See, my thing was, and people would bait you to think that you were lucky.
100%.
People will always be, man, you got lucky, man. I'm looking like, my nephew told me that the other day, right? 16 years old. Look where you at. You lucky. I'm like, bro, I'm 46 years old. I said, man, if you ever come at me like that again, I'm like, so, and you can't let people bait you into feeling like you got lucky. I remember my teammates, like, I'll come and, I'm doing my little thing. I got my new car and all that stuff. And somebody said, I made you. I was like, you made me? I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Who said they made you?
It was one of my good friends.
Oh,
we still cool now because he was just like, man, I was hurt. He's like, bro, he said, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I got, I had so much stuff going on and me and you were like this and you see all that stuff happening to you, I was jealous. And he was real about it. And for me, but you should never let anyone damper your shine. Like, no matter what's going on, like if you got it, you got it. Like all the stuff I had, I used to dial myself down just to be around people, which is dumb as hell. Like, just cause you an NFL player, well, I don't want to. I ain't, man. You don't got to. I ain't just an NFL player, man. If I was, if I ain't, like, bro, like you go to the club, even with you go to the club, it's gonna be one guy that maybe know you that they gonna think you doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I ain't even doing that. You know what I mean? I'm just out here hanging. Oh, you got that kind of car. Yeah, okay. Oh, you got that kind of car. Yeah, like, bro, it ain't got nothing to do
what
with
you
it.
gonna say about
Well, I mean, because this subject keep coming up, and I'm gonna make sure I get the mad because we talk about the self-guilt. I just want to say, I'm glad that you were able to get over that. I relate to it so much. Like, Be Rich and people who know me as they say, hey man, Trey a prayer warrior, man. Trey really know how to pray. But I just started praying for myself for the first time the beginning of this year near the end of last year. I could pray for my kids. I could pray for my wife, my mother, my friends. I could not say a prayer for myself.
I'm still working on that.
For 40-something years. Like I literally could not pray for myself. And I would talk to my wife about it. And I owe my wife, shout out to you, babe. I owe my wife for continuing to help lift me up, you know what I'm saying, through God and help me stay where I need to be with God because I stayed in so much self-guilt to when things went wrong, I would say, oh, shit, that's the way it's supposed to go. Yeah. It's like I would go into every situation almost waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, it's going well, I'm doing my thing, and sometimes I would feel like things were happening in spite of me, not because of me. Oh, yeah, you worked hard, but it's just, maybe you just getting lucky because, you done so much fucked up shit that sooner or later, Trey, and when I think about the things that I think is that I was blaming myself for, it wasn't nowhere near the type of stuff that other people out here doing. Not trying to compare myself to anybody else, but just saying the guilt that I put on myself. So, hey man, I want to shake your hand, bro, and I'm glad that you getting past that because it is unworthy. And one thing about it, God puts each and every one of us, when he makes us as humans, he makes us in his light and to be in his image. And God is straight blessing. God is love. You know what I mean? So why would God put us here if we're supposed to be anything else? Exactly. We'll convince ourselves that we are something else. But no, we walking in God's image and we're supposed to be blessed. Good things are supposed to happen to us.
Exactly. But we got to work on those good things happening.
True, we do.
That's what I'm saying.
You definitely got to put the work in.
The good thing you said is that how you used to talk to yourself. Like I still don't really pray for myself. I felt like God gave me so much. So it's tough for me to pray and say, I need this or I want this.
Tell them thank you.
But yeah, I do that.
Yeah, okay.
I tell them thank you. But I tell them mostly thank you for my mom, my kids and everything. I think if my support system stays healthy, I'll be all right. And my support system, the people I support, that's what's messed up. Like, I support my kids and everything, but that's more of my support system. That's what keep me pushing. Because when I was younger, it was more like my mom was my support system because I couldn't let her down. Like the reason why I didn't walk away from football in college is because of my mom. Because I was like, if I stop right now, I'm gonna go back home and people gonna be like, oh, he could have. But the woman that I got to take care of, that's gonna hurt more. If my mom is still gonna have to work and still gonna have to do this. So now, like I said, I had to tell my mom, I got these girls now. Like I generally can see like this is my true passion. Like, Mom, I love you to death, but you got a husband. I got to take care of these girls. I don't know if they get married or but I need to be here for them. Like, this is my new purpose right here. Like, I got to build myself for them. So when I do things like this, it's more for them too. Because think about it, my oldest daughter's 23, and I got a newborn. They ain't worrying about like what Dad does now. But when they get older and they start paying attention, they start looking at old videos and like hearing Dad talk and hearing stuff like that. Whether it picks them up or picks them and puts them in a different situation, to put them in a different light, and they'll see Dad goes through things too. You know, being open with my kids has been one of the toughest things, but also one of the easiest things now because I can tell my daughters, Dad ain't having a good day. You know, dad ain't having to get their real dad, and it's crazy because they teach kids so much about, you know, that personal affirmation stuff now that I can literally talk to my 23-year-old like I'm talking to anybody. You know, like before it was like, because my mom, I didn't talk to my mom like that. Like when we was younger, do this, do that, shut up, do that. You know, if you had a problem, you solve it on your own. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna sit here and talk to me all day about your problem. So it takes a lot of vulnerability if you really want to live life safe and not be suicidal and stuff like that. Because, you know, black men are going up in suicide rate because we put so much pressure on ourselves to be something that we're not. I don't need to act like you. I don't need to act like you. I can just be myself. You know, everybody want to be an alpha male. I'm an alpha male when I need to be, but sometimes I gotta chill. You know, I ain't saying I'm no beta, and I'm not gonna just be no pushover. But at the same time, I don't need to be the life of the party. I don't got to be the person that has to always pay the check. I don't got to do that. And you gotta understand that it's okay if you're not like a black person can be dead broke, and we would never tell nobody, and we'll just sit there and hold all that stuff in and still try to portray ourselves a certain way. We'll go to the bank and get $100,000 just to floss, not to pay the bill off. Because you'll hear so many people they owe money to this place, they owe money to this place, they owe money to this place, and instead of taking it, but they still living the same lifestyle. You would not know. So sometimes you got to be real with yourself. Like, look, ain't nothing wrong with minimalizing. Like minimalizing your life can save your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you see a lot of these people, you got to know 5 years before you go broke that you're going broke. Like you can see the writing on the wall. It ain't just like it pop up. You know what I mean? It ain't just like you're one check away because we don't live one check away. Well, I don't. We don't live one check away, so you can know when it's coming out. So just chill. Like it's okay to walk away from some stuff. You know, it's okay to tell your friends I ain't going out tonight. It's okay to do that thing, even if it ain't for the money wise, because sometimes just for the mental health. Yeah. Being around some people will break you down.
It will. Man, so we getting close to the end, man. Everything been like, man, it's really been a good interview.
I'm excited, man. Just listening. I'm proud of the man you becoming. So yeah,
100%. Yeah. I do, like I said, I did want to circle back with Matt, and unless B Rich has,
I want to hear what you got to say.
Had B Rich has any questions after this, then we can go to that, or we can wrap up. I just want to know, like, for Matt Ryan, did you guys see like him coming in as a rookie? Did you guys see something special in him, or could tell that he would be a good quarterback for the team?
Not at all, not me. But you know, I don't like quarterbacks, and it wasn't my job to critique it because I never heard of him. You know, because I was playing football and I didn't really. I looked at who we were drafting defensively more because I'm saying who trying to take my job. You know what I mean? Like, like people always talking about, that. Like, you didn't care what the artist, you like, well, I know what I'm doing. Like, let me see what that other guy doing. Like, I'm checking the dude who's doing my job. But when he came in, it was kind of like, are they trying to get another Brady or something like that? Because, you know, Boston and 12, and he was 12 at the time, but now he came and he was number 2. But then when he threw his first pass and it was a touchdown, I was like, man, we might got one. You know, you be like, man, we might got one. Then we went and got Julio, and it was just like, man, I'm watching magic. Yeah. Like I'm sitting here like a lot of the stuff. The reason why I didn't leave because I saw what was happening. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because I should have been the Dwight Freeney in that Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The Dwight Freeney was here when he got. That should have been me. I should have still been on the team, and I should have still been there. You know, like even when OC came here, OC called me. He's like, man, they was trying to give me 55, but you know, I ain't gonna take your number, brother. You know, because that's respect that you have for players and everything. But Matt, when I first seen him, I was just like, I don't know, because my first couple of years was disappointment. So you gotta understand how my mind was just like, oh man, who is this guy? Yeah. They talking about I'm like, man, they got this quarterback I don't know nothing about, and I'm looking like, here go another year. I said, man, I can't go nowhere. I'm locked in for 6 years, and y'all bought this cat in here, but then he threw that pass, and I was like,
it was against Detroit. At Detroit,
I was like, we might got one. Hey, bro, so you know, I went for like. I ain't now like, you know, because like, but then but as a person though, if you ever met Matt, you know, he's just a good dude, man. When I got cut from him, he sent me a long message, you know, like talking about how he appreciate everything I did and everything like that. He was probably like the only person that really like, besides like teammates that I talked to, like Babineau, you know, I talk to them like every day, but like he literally, like Tony didn't hit me up, Julio hit me up, but Julio, I used to see Julio out. So, Julio lived here at one point, so it was easy to see Julio, but, Roddy, but I was just surprised that Matt did it, because, when you have a player, when you have a player of his caliber, a lot of times they don't reach down with somebody, because it's such a business that people don't understand. Like, once you go on sometime, and I had to learn it, like, when I got to the league, I felt like everybody on my team was important, because in college, in high school, there was like everybody was important. College, everybody's important, because everybody's important. In the league, you ain't important. Like literally, you can be here today and gone tomorrow, so people don't really, your importance to that team ain't really there like you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt that when I got cut here. I was like, dang, I ain't even important.
Wow.
Like, no matter what I did, all the stuff I did, I was like, dang, I ain't important, because it was just like, it wasn't like a phone call, that's it. Y'all ain't even took me, even took me out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you at least took me to the thing. So
they had a jet for you when you got here.
Yeah, then you just kicked me out like that. I'm like, it's all good though. But no, it's a beautiful feeling, man. Now looking back,
Slickster got him, man. To me.
Oh yeah, he got me.
I do.
He didn't like me though. I ain't want to talk. I didn't want to talk about him.
No, we don't have to.
I ain't want to know.
I just have a little something against the Slickster.
I don't never think he liked me, because I remember even I think when he talked to me, he said, "Man, I wish we would have got to know each other better." I'm like, "Yeah, I know it, because you probably wouldn't let my ass go like this." Because I'm like, "Dog," granted, I'm gonna give him and I'm gonna give the Falcons a lot of leeway, because I was not a good pro. I used to come in drunk. I wasn't a good role model for a lot of the young players. I showed up drunk. I didn't come to work out sometimes, but I didn't like showing people my work. Some people like to be on IG working out and all this stuff. I used to go to Miami and work out with other guys, and I used to go to other places to work out. I never liked showing off what I did, because everybody always used to say, "Oh, that dude's natural." And I always wanted to be that kind of person. When you ever heard somebody, "Man, that dude's a natural athlete."
Yeah.
I wasn't a natural athlete, but I act like I was.
Oh, okay.
I used to like work out. No, I always wanted, because when I was younger, like my cousin was just like a natural athlete, could dunk, do all this stuff and everything. So, I used to be at home jumping, trying to touch the roof. That's how I got my hops. Yeah. Like jumping, trying to touch the roof. I used to run down like really a dirt road. Like, I'm from the country, bro. Like country.
Yeah, okay.
Like, y'all might have to go like Waycross, Georgia or something like that. That's the kind of country I'm talking about. Yeah. So I used to run like all the way up and down the street by myself, bro. I'm talking about no shoes on, just running. Yeah. Trying to get faster. But I never had nobody like coaching me. I never had nobody telling me to do better. I never So that was in my mind, I didn't like when people used to, like when I went to college and somebody had to tell me how to work out and tell me how to do this, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So when I got to the pros, when I got to the pros, I worked out like in front of people, and I probably wouldn't give as much. But then I go work out at home, or I go do stuff at home. And like if you would have came at my house in Flowery Branch, I had like a whole doctor's office in there. I had every machine. I had all that stuff. No, because I wanted to be healthy. Yeah. But I didn't want people to show off. I wanted everybody to think that I was just naturally gifted. Yeah. Nah, hell no. So that's one thing I regret. I wish I would have showed people how hard I worked to get to where I was.
So look, I want to say this to end it off. All right, I got a question about the second round pick we drafted. Was the Clemson defensive end?
Yeah, we got
Roro. So are you familiar with him?
A little bit.
So let me ask you something. Just by ending it, what you see in him? Do you see him doing something, or are you kind of like still paying attention to what's going on? Because I got a chance when we drafted. I'm like, who the hell is this? And why did we trade up for him? But then when I got a chance to look at him, watch some of his highlights in college, he seemed like he can be something.
Man, don't you say that about everybody, though? I mean, like, I ain't trying to knock.
I'm a Falcon fan, so yeah.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying, but when I look at any prospect, I see that, like, he might can. So I'm not saying I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying that for me, every time I see somebody, and sometimes I get surprised, sometimes I don't, but, like, watching them now, I can't tell. Like, and everybody looked at Jamal Anderson in college, you would thought you had, that's an easy guy. He gonna get. I played with him, and I was just like, even playing with him, I was just kind of like, he ain't really a football guy. And not saying it bad, but you can be around somebody, but he a cool dude. Now, I ain't knocking him at all. Like I said, he used to get hoes, so he did what he wanted to do. I mean, they paid him. At the end of the day, I was like, they paid him. Like, cause they making $500 million a year. You getting a guy who ain't never had something 15. can't be mad at you any kind of way. Yeah. But I don't know if he's gonna be good or not, bro. You gotta give me a year to watch because everybody always say, "Oh, this guy's a lock to be this," and I'm looking like, y'all ain't been watching football lately because it ain't never been a lock ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you barring injury and barring this. Now, can I say technique-wise, I can see stuff that I like? Yes. Seeing that they're going to be good? No, because some people don't transition like that. Some people can't be coached. Like I said, with Ray, he wasn't a coachable guy. He's a great athlete. You know, he worked hard. He did everything possible to look good, but he just wasn't coachable. So I hate to be like, oh, yeah, this guy.
Yeah, and I just want to see your thought on that.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. Like, it's hard for me to judge people like that.
Take us out of here, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing the development of Ebiketie. I'm also looking forward to seeing the Brandon Trice, the young man coming out of Washington, who's the third-round pick, man. You know, you can't say that college is necessarily going to translate over to the pros, but I mean, like, when it comes to most pressures over the last 2 years getting to the quarterback, he right up there in the top. But what made him fall to the third round, I don't know, but that don't mean that he can't come in and be productive.
I'm going to tell you who I think going to be good. The kid we got from Notre Dame, Bertrand, the white boy.
Yeah.
I think he gonna do good.
He got a nice size.
I think he got the mentality, man. Like, he just got that Captain America feel to it.
I hope so.
I think he was a captain. I think most people that have the pedigree from coming from college and, you know, being a leader on the team, sometimes that translates well.
Sometimes it does if he can translate in the locker room first.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get in the locker room first, and I think with any NFL player, you got to let your college go.
Okay.
Like, it's got to be a clean slate. Like, you can't think, because I think a lot of people come in thinking when I came in, bro, I was like, I'm the worst person on the team because I was a rookie.
Okay.
And think about it, all these guys got experience. And like I said, even
you have the right mentality the way you approach football.
Yeah,
you
but
know
people have experience. You know, like these guys 30 years old, and your experience can keep you on the team, and you don't got to be good. You can have somebody way more talented that's younger. I've seen these guys that had extreme talent, but they'll keep the other guy because he's 30, and he's been in there. Like he goes does this, like he go talk to kids.
Yeah,
you know he's good at lunch. He go to prayer. Like it's a business, man. It's a business that you'll see some great players get cut just because
of
the other person has the little things that don't got nothing to do with football. You have one dude run a 4.3 and one dude run a 4.7, but they'll keep the 4.7 guy just because he good at. He might be good at. Man, he good at holding the punt or he good at snapping the ball. Even if they never use him, you'll see some. Man, I saw so many great talents. Like I've seen guys that were extraordinary like athletes never got a chance just because they didn't know how to play the game.
The policy. I'm gonna say this before we end, man. Like I see it now. Like when John we live next door, John would put on this persona like this, that. But I always see him, Ray, be paying attention. But he go and pay attention and soak it up. And now talking to him, I see what he was doing. Yeah. He put on a persona because he was feeling a certain type of way, but he would sit back and learn. He like a sponge. So I see that about you, man.
You got to, bro. You know, that's life.
Man, wait, I want to say, man, on behalf of myself and B Rich, I know B Rich, y'all got a real personal relationship, so I'm sure he's already said it. We thank you.
Thank you, bro. It means a lot, man.
Showing us love, man. Showing us love to our show, to the fans that we do have out there, man. And on behalf
I can say I've been there when it started. I can say I've been there when it started.
I don't believe that, man.
You know, like, gotta be like that. I truly believe we're gonna have like a lot of former players and players on here. You're our first Atlanta Falcon, man, that we had on here. And you're a Falcon for life, in my opinion. I love the Falcons, and I got a chance to like really dig into your stats. And like one thing I will say, in Atlanta, man, you besides the first year, you was consistently on the field, man.
I was.
You was consistently on the field, and even with the Cardinals, man, you stayed. I think with the Jets, I think you was there for 5 years, and I think with two and a half of the years, you didn't you was hurt. But besides that, man, you had a long, good career, man, that you actually was consistent and you played, especially for the Falcons, man. You didn't miss that many games, so don't beat yourself up, man.
Yeah, but it's
I wish I could have seen, like I said, you got them games back, man.
Exactly.
And I wish in the Tampa Bay game, man, you would have just kind of chilled out, man.
Well, me and you both.
Because that right there, man, I think that cost us a Super Bowl. Because I know you would have made a play, man.
We're gonna have to bring you back when I do the sports bar or the sports poem by breaking the Atlanta sports curse, man. He gonna have to be here when I record.
I'm across the street, man.
Right. He gonna have to come through.
All right,
hey, man. Well, on behalf of myself, B Rich, and number 55, man. 13, y'all see the necklace, man. The Water Boy Show, we are out.
We out.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bones Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.